It's Feel Good Friday with Dr. Phil 2. It's time to fill your Friday with something good. Come on together, let's shape a new start with clarity, confidence, and purpose. It's Feel Good Friday. Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Feel Good Friday. Listen, there's got to be something you feel good about today. Today is a Friday. That means that we're at the end of the week. It means that you have either accomplished a lot or you're still trying to accomplish a lot. So whatever it is, we are at the end of this week, but we believe that there's still something to feel good about this
Amen.
week. There's still something to thrive through this week. It means that you have a new start through the weekend. It means that you have a new beginning in this weekend. And I am here with my friend, known for a very long time. Please, everybody, welcome Maxine Legall. How you doing?
Hey, Dr. Phil, how are you? Happy Friday. Happy Feel Good Friday, I should
That's
say.
right. Happy Feel Good Friday. Wow. It is great having you on. Thank you so
Thank you.
much for agreeing to be on this platform. Listen, I've just seen a lot of your work on LinkedIn, just seeing you really thriving. And so I want to talk about your business, Thrive Inclusively. Let me just share with the audience a little bit about it. It's dedicated to empowering leaders and organizations to thrive through effective leadership, cultivating a culture of inclusion and
Yeah.
psychological safety, and driving organizational transformation. I love it. I love it. Tell me a little bit about Thrive Inclusively.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. And thank you for reading that intro. Sometimes when people read it, I'm like, oh, yeah, I do that. So thank you for the reminder. I started my company in March of 2024. I had been working for many years in healthcare, and I did a lot around employee engagement, patient satisfaction, shaping and transforming cultures. And when I left my last position, I thought to myself, I've spent a lot of time making organizations great. Maybe I can make a great organization. And that's where the idea came from. And I'm really engaged and excited about helping people reach their full potential. And so that's why I call the company Thrive Inclusively, because that's what I wanted to do. And I feel like, especially now, with everything that's happening, I think the message that we often get from anything that we might engage with is you're not enough, you're not perfect, you can't do it. There's so much discouragement. I really wanted to create a company and a platform that focused on encouragement and helping people. And that's really what my company is about. So I do coaching, I do consulting, and I do speaking. Love to talk about things that help people be their best self. That's really my company in a nutshell.
I love it. I love it. When did you start this?
So I I started it, I think it's better to start a company in the summer, but I started the company somewhat in the winter, which is hard because I think it's happier when the sun is shining. But be that as it may, started in March of 2024.
Wow. So you had your new start, and what were you doing before this? So because it seems like you just one day just said, "Hey, this is what I'm going to do." What inspired this new start in your life?
Hmm. I think that so my background, I have a master's in social work. Then I went back and got an MBA in healthcare administration. So I loved the idea of working with people, and I wanted to understand the nuts and bolts of how organizations work. And so
Yeah.
that's why I went back for the MBA. So I spent a lot of time working at different large healthcare systems in New York, Northwell, Mount Sinai, New York Presbyterian, learned a lot from them, and just thought, listen, I enjoy engaging with people. I understand what it means to shape culture. I've done a lot of work around cultivating trainings and programs and experiences to help organizations change. Let me try to do that for myself. Let me try to create a company that allows me to do that for others. And that's really, where this came from.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And so you've been able to help so many people through just what you have learned in the past. You've
Yeah.
packaged that
Yeah.
and said, I'm going to start over.
Yeah.
Now, in this company, did you totally quit what you were doing? Are you doing this in addition to what you're doing? How
Right.
is this working for you?
So the last role that I had, I was the chief of diversity, equity, and inclusion for a not-for-profit in the city. But unfortunately, that company had some financial setbacks, and so my role was eliminated. And so when you wake up the next day and you think to yourself, I can pretty much go any direction I want at this point, one of the things that I thought about was maybe it's time. You thought about starting your own company when you were working at a lot of these other organizations. Maybe this is God's way of saying, do your own thing. So I prayed about it and did a lot of fasting on it, and I moved forward.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I mean, there now that DEI has been targeted,
Yes,
and in
yes,
so many companies right now,
so many
it's starting
companies.
to dissolve, and maybe that dissolved just a little bit before its time, but we're starting to see that trend lately. How has DEI impacted companies, and now why is it in such a reversal mode?
Oh, that's a heavy question, Dr. Phil. I think that the term DEI was the most recent terminology we used to define a work that wanted to create equitable opportunities, organizations, and spaces for everyone.
Yes.
And so, what happened is a lot of the work that's been done, people may not have completely understood the goal of the work, what the result of the work should be, what measures the work is actually going to impact. And so, because that was happening, what you saw was after a while, people began to question, right? What is the impact of this work? What I have seen, I'm not comfortable with. And so the narrative began to change. But if you were to go back 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, the
Hmm.
goal of what DEI has been trying to accomplish is the same. I was on a podcast maybe about 2 weeks ago, and the speaker said what he's done is he's stopped saying DEI and he started calling it diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Hmm.
Because sometimes people don't even truly understand the term DEI.
That's right.
And so I think that that was also one of the things that contributed to where we are now. People didn't understand what it meant, and they didn't understand the intentions of the work. I'll tell you one other story, and that's this. I was on a panel discussion maybe about 3 years ago, and I was in a room. It was a diverse mix of really exceptional professionals. And the question of diversity, equity, and inclusion came up. And I said, I don't know that people even understand what it means.
They
And
don't.
so, I went through the definition. What is diversity? Diversity we see every day. There's diversity in this room right now. That's what I was walking them through. And I said, what's equity? Equity is making sure everyone has access to the same opportunities. And what's inclusion? Inclusion is making sure that everyone feels valuable and included and a part of the discussion, the goal, the journey, the work. And when I said that, at the end of the panel discussion, I had colleagues come up to me that were all different colors, came up to me and said, thank you for the definition because we didn't know. And I think that that's another reason why there's been so much, just what's the word? Just a lot of tension,
Yeah.
right, around DEI because I
Yeah.
don't know that people truly understood what it was meant to do and accomplish.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, it's all about having that understanding of that clarity, because it's like it's being turned into a derogatory word now.
Yes.
And I'll tell you this: as a leader, I have many people that I present to from week to week,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes when we're on a Zoom call or whatever, I know that some need the words bigger, in order to understand, right? So I'm
Yeah.
not just going to be putting these little cute little fonts up
Right.
there, right?
Right.
I am putting, as you see right up above you, feel good. I'm
Feel
putting those
good.
bold fonts because
Right.
that is part of the diversity, equity, and inclusion for some
Right.
people who may not be able to read the fine print, like myself. If I'm looking far
Right.
away, I
Can't
can't
see.
see. I need
Can't
my glasses.
right. But also, then it also means providing captions
That's right.
for those who may not be able to hear what we're talking about. It's
Yes.
really trying to build spaces where everyone can come in, feel included, be engaged, and benefit from what you're trying to do. And we want that for everybody, right?
That's right. That's right. Even when we do these reels and we put it on social media,
Yeah.
the captions,
Yeah.
right? So you capture people with the captions, you capture them with the audio, because
Yeah.
sometimes somebody's at work, they want to see what your content is, but
Yeah.
they
They
can't
can't
put
have
the
the
volume
volume.
up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's the thing, right? When you think about it, more and more people are engaging with platforms like LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok,
Yes,
on their phones. People are not doing these things on their computers anymore. And so you have to be able to push out information in a way that makes it easy for people to understand it, to view it, to hear it, and to also be able to read it while you're actually doing the event or the video itself.
that's right. That's right. Absolutely. And the more we can look at how our out outsourcing is for these things and
Right.
be able to help the people that we're trying to serve, that
Yeah.
is the greatest thing. So I know that DEI, that word right there, the acronym, is now being turned into something negative by people who don't understand it, but we
Mm.
want to bring clarity to that. I'm glad you're in that field and in that space to help companies bring clarity to
Right.
not
Right.
not just that, but to just organizational functioning and things like that.
Well, let me say this to you. I think at the end of the day, when anyone is running or a part of an organization, what you want to have is you want to have a healthy culture.
Yes,
Right? What is culture? Culture is who an organization is when no one is looking, right? Culture is the norms and the values of an organization, right? There's culture in our churches. There's cultures in our not-for-profits. There's cultures in our hospitals, right? You want to be able to provide healthy cultures. How do you provide healthy cultures? People want to feel included, they want to feel valued, and they want to feel heard, and they want to feel appreciated. Any healthy culture needs that to thrive, right? And there are components of that that tie into diversity, equity, and inclusion. And so at the end of the day, when you're able to cultivate right environments where people can feel valued and appreciated and included, you're driving this concept of engagement, which is directly related, right, to what we want to do when we think about diversity, equity, and inclusion as well. But now what what I message is this. We want a healthy culture. You want to retain your staff. You want your leaders to be developed. All right. Those are all the components that people want for their organization. And that's really what I try to focus on.
I love it. And well, let me ask you, what do you feel when you hear, well, people should earn it by merit? How do we clarify this? People should be given jobs and opportunities because they are different, but they should get it by merit. How do we clarify that term?
I mean, I think that when you when you think about the work that we did, or I shouldn't say did, but at the end of the day, when you are hiring for a position, you want to get the best candidate. That's it. You want the best candidate, right? But the goal is to make sure that in getting the best candidate, you have a diverse slate of potential interviewees or candidates.
Right.
You want to make sure that you have people with different experiences, people who come from different backgrounds. You want that because you know that the more diverse your organization is, the better your organization will be around productivity, around effectiveness, Just from a budgetary or financial perspective, those organizations perform better. And so when you have a diverse slate, then the goal then is to walk those individuals through a interview process that allows everyone to get an equitable opportunity to be considered for that role.
That's right.
That means that when I'm interviewing for that role, if I'm the hiring manager, I'm going to make sure that I'm bringing other people in to help me make the right decision. So you're even diverse in your intentionality around the hiring process. So if I'm hiring, I wouldn't be the only person that looks at these candidates. I'm going to bring other people in. I'm going to say, hey, listen, I'm interviewing for this role. I'm going to ask this person, other people on my team, maybe another leader to come in and help me vet. Why? Because I want to be as diverse as possible when I'm making decisions for the best candidate, so that the people that I hire will be the best person. I hope I'm making sense, right? Because I know you asked about merit, but I just want to make sure people understand that at the end of the day, all we want to do is hire the best person for the job.
And no, that is the clear truth, right? That is merit, right? You earned it by merit because you are the best candidate, but maybe would not have been given the opportunity if that company was totally, exclusive to a certain brand or a certain culture. So we want to make sure that everybody that is qualified gets that opportunity. All right, I'm gonna throw out another word to you, and tell me what you think about this. What When you think about your mission and the business that you do, how important is mindset?
Mm, okay. I think it's very important. There's a woman who wrote a book. Her name is Carol Dweck. I think the book was published back in 2006, and she really talked a lot about mindset. I look at her research, and I look at her book and her material a lot as I think about mindset. It's really about your thinking, right? And a lot of times, our thinking determines how we show up,
Yep.
uh, how we work towards our goals, if we even work towards our goals, if we have goals at all. And so what she delineated in her book was this concept behind a growth mindset and a fixed mindset. And
Wow.
so a fixed mindset says, um, the way I was born and what I know is all I'll know. I am not meant to learn more. Whatever talents or skills I have, those are the only skills I have. I'm not going to try anything new, because I know what I know. And if I meet someone like Dr. Phil and he's doing all these great things, my mentality is, oh, he can do that because he's him, but I can't do that, right? That's
Mm,
a fixed mindset. I'll
yeah.
only go but so far
Wow.
because of who I am. But a growth mindset says, I can learn new things. I can meet someone like Dr. Phil who's doing his own podcast. And although I may not know how to do that, I can sit with him and learn from him. Hey, how'd you do that? What's your journey? Tell me about that. What would you say to someone like me who wants to do that? The other thing that's beautiful about a growth mindset is it moves away from things like jealousy and the hater mentality, because I'm not going to be jealous of you. I'm just going to celebrate what you're able to accomplish and allow that to challenge me to be my best self.
Mm,
So
yeah.
growth mindset. And I'm talking to you as a speaker. I'm also talking to you as a pastor. I believe that growth mindset is also biblical. All
Yes.
right. If you think about it, you think about what the Bible says, right? There's a scripture that says that he which hath begun a good work in you is faithful to complete it. That's
Yes.
growth, right?
Yes.
And what God is saying is he wants us to continue to grow as an individual. He wants us to continue to get better and better and better. And so mindset is critical, because if we walk into situations and opportunities and challenges with a fixed mindset, we're more likely to move away from that and be fearful, as opposed to a growth mindset that says, let me lean in and learn and be focused on being my best self. I hope I answered your question.
No, that's great. I think that wow, that was a gem right there. I mean, there's the difference between fixed mindset and growth mindset.
Yeah.
And that's what shaping your new start is all about. really just understanding the concept of the mindset. I believe that if you shift your mindset, if you grow in that mindset, you can start to accomplish new things. So just as you said, as your uh, position or your time ended in that company,
Right.
right? You had a mindset that says, hey, you know what? I can start my own business. And
Why
there are
not?
many people today that will be watching this
Right.
that says, I wanted to start my own business. I want to, but how do I? And I'm still kind of fixed, and they did it good, but I don't know that I can.
You can. You can. You absolutely can. I mean, I think that we look at people who accomplish things like an awesome podcast, Dr. Phil, right? And we say, yeah, I don't know. I mean, he's Dr. Phil, right? He can do that, right? But I can't. And you want to stop right there. There's another person. There are a few people that I enjoy following and learning from, and one of them is Deblier Snell,
Yes.
right? And I look at just how he has approached his purpose and ministry.
Yes.
And the thing about it is, as engaging and as powerful and as anointing as he was when I first saw him preach, he is only getting better because he has a growth mindset. He understands that God is continuing to call him higher and higher. And so, yeah, you can look at me and say, she started her own company. I can't do that. Trust me, if I can start my own company, anyone can start their own company because it's something I never thought that I would do. And it's
So,
something I never thought I could do.
so let's run into this word. So you have the growth mindset, but how important is confidence in that?
Yeah, no, confidence is key. I think that as a believer, confidence confidence hits a little bit different
Mm-hmm.
because faith plays a role in that.
Yes.
Right? And so I'm gonna come at this two ways, right?
Yes.
As a believer, you have faith in your Creator, you have faith in God, and you believe that He's giving you the skills you need to do what it is you'd like to accomplish, and so that gives you confidence, right? That gives you confidence to move forward. But the flip side of that is, let's say that you are someone who may not necessarily subscribe to this idea of a creator or God. When you talk about confidence, it's really making a decision to say, I'm going to push past my fear, focus on accomplishing my goals, and I'm going to continue to learn. What happens when you do that? When you begin to do that, you just get better at your skill. You get better at what you do. And as long as you approach it from the standpoint of, it's not who I am. Being a VP, being a CEO, that's not who I am. I know who I am. If you can define yourself, if you can look at your values and align your values with what you want to accomplish and be your authentic self, that drives your confidence as well. Right? Because you say to yourself, these are things that I can do, these are things that I can accomplish. I hope I answered that question as well.
Mm-hmm. Oh
But
yeah,
that's
yeah, yeah. And I've had to grow in confidence in
yeah.
who I am and what I'm about. And sometimes my confidence has grown through people who have tried to tear down my confidence.
Ooh, that's powerful.
Like through people who have kind of questioned me
Yeah.
and kind of put me in some kind of box and maybe misunderstood me, whatever it is. I started to grow in who I was. Say, you know what? No, I am who I am, and
Yeah.
I'm confident in who I am.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And
And
and my confidence doesn't come from the likes, it doesn't come from the views, it does
yeah,
not come from how many people have shared the content.
right.
It comes from knowing I am doing what I'm supposed to be doing, where I am supposed to be doing it.
Right. Because you have received and experienced alignment with your purpose.
That's right.
And once you have that, once you understand your purpose, the likes don't matter, right? And even the haters, right? You're better able to tackle or to just dismiss the haters because you know that you're walking in your purpose
Yeah.
and you're aligned with what you want to accomplish. That's key.
In walking into rooms where people are hurting and people are going through their worst days, I try to bring that element of faith. Now, I'm a police chaplain, a pastor, a
Wow.
motivational speaker, a prayer warrior, because I go into hospitals
Yeah.
and I have to pray over people on their sick
Yeah.
bed. And,
Yeah.
that element of faith, I've seen people on their sick bed
Mm.
develop that faith after that prayer or after, that visit,
Wow.
and it has made a tremendous impact
Mm.
in that. How important is having faith? And as a chaplain, I have to kind of minister to a large group of believers in different realms, right? So one of the things we talk about is having a faith or having faith. How important is that?
Mm. I don't know what I'd do without faith.
Hmm.
I think that, we talked earlier about me starting this company, and that took a leap of faith,
Yes.
right? And I think that my faith has informed me to be confident in the things that I want to do and accomplish. It's the scripture that says I can do all things, right? Through Christ who gives me strength. It's leaning on things like that that drive my faith. And as long as you know that God has ordered your steps, then you have the faith to move forward.
Yes.
Even when things may not go the way that you planned or that you want. Listen, starting a business is hard. Okay, it is hard. The first several months I was like, are you sure that this is what you want to do? But when you can lean on your faith, that makes all the difference.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Especially going into a new career or a new shift in your purpose, it definitely takes, and fear is part of faith. Really, be honest. That fear is a part of faith. You fear, failure, but at the same time, you have faith that is going to overcome that faith over fear.
Yeah,
And there's two type of fears, right? There's fear of reverence. I respect
right,
this new calling. I,
right,
I I respect this, and so I'm going into it with fear, out of reverence that
yeah,
I've been called to something bigger and
right,
better,
right,
and so that fear drives me because
right.
I revere the God that is directing and ordering my steps.
Beautiful, beautiful,
Yeah. And at the end of the
beautiful.
day, I know what I'm going to accomplish because I have this fear, but I also have this faith to know that this is going to drive me to ultimate success.
And I would say to anyone that might be, I was talking to one of my coaching clients this week, and I said, we were talking about fear. And I said to them, we all have fear. We're human. We have fear, but it's a matter of pushing past your fear. And I
Yes.
think that that's where people stop. They figure because I have fear, I shouldn't do it. No, because you have fear, you should do it. You should continue to move forward. Most of the people that you see out here, they're afraid, but they push past that fear because they wanted to experience and know what was on the other side of that fear. And
Mm,
that's the mentality that you have to have. It has to be, what's on the other side of this? And because I don't know, I'm going to push past that fear to find out.
that's wonderful. Now, before we go, I just want you to tell everybody when they contact you, how to contact you, and what they should expect when they book you or when they make a contract with you. Tell us a little bit so that we can make sure we're clear
Mm.
in promoting what you do and to the people that you need to do it for.
Thank you, Dr. Fell. I'm happy to say that I'm on almost every social media platform. So you can find me on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And I'm also on YouTube. So you can find me at Thrive Inclusively on each of those platforms. Most people find me through LinkedIn. I also have a website, www.thriveinclusively.com. So I try to be as accessible as possible. This is being broadcast live on LinkedIn, so you're happy to inbox me. And when you engage with me, great question. What will be your experience? I am a speaker, I'm a consultant, and I'm a coach. What I love to do is come into organizations and speak on things that will energize and engage individuals, right? Help them to challenge their mindset, right? And move towards a growth mindset. As a coach, my work is very similar, really working with people who want to reach their full potential. And as a consultant, coming into organizations and helping them look at their culture and what they can do to transform that culture and make it a space where they're able to retain the best employees and drive engagement and be able to accomplish the mission and the vision of their organization. So that's really what you'd experience, hopefully, if you were to reach out to me and I'd have the opportunity to work with you.
Love it, love it, love it. Listen, everybody, go to this website, thriveinclusively.com. Go to this website. Listen, make contact with her. You need a speaker for your business. You need a coach. This is the one to go to. Her content is awesome. If you link up with her on LinkedIn, you will see some amazing content. And I'm very proud of you. I want to let you know I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
We go all the way back to New York.
Way back. I think we met when you were like, I think we were like 12. I think.
Yes.
Kids. Thank you for this opportunity, Dr. Phil. Thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Yes, indeed. So whether you're watching the rebroadcast, whether you're listening on the podcast, we want to thank you for joining us. You can go to Dr. Phil 2, Shaping Your New Start on YouTube, on Instagram, on X, formerly known as Twitter. But you can find us. You can even find us on Blue Sky, everybody. You can find us on Blue Sky. So make sure that you go to our content. Now, one thing before we go, what can we feel good about on this Friday? What can we feel good about?
Oh, man, there's so much to feel good about. I feel good about the fact that I'm alive. I got up this morning, and I feel good about the fact that it's a new day. And every new day gives us the opportunity to pursue what God has planned for our lives, to pursue our goals, and to be our best self. That's
Come on. I love it. I love it. Listen, everybody, check out Thrive Inclusively. Make sure you go to the website, link up on social media. This is Feel Good Friday. There's always something to feel good about. We want you to fill your Friday with something good. Everybody, thank you. Have a wonderful weekend. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And make sure you share, like, and subscribe to this platform. Have a good Friday.
Thank you, everyone.
It's Feel Good Friday with Dr. Phil 2. It's time to fill your Friday with something good. Come on together, let's shape a new start with clarity, confidence, and purpose. It's Feel Good Friday.